I'm gonna be honest, guys, I've really been struggling setting meetings while making my cold calls recently. So I figured what better way to find that end of Q1 magic than to make a video talking about how to make cold calls, getting back to the basics. I prepared some examples for you guys here today. Have you ever heard this before on the phone?
I've seen them, but we're not interested. I've seen them, but we're not interested.
Yeah, absolutely get that. Well, I noticed that you oversee HR over at ATS.
Sorry you guys had to see that. It was very bloody on the phones today. I got body bagged multiple times on multiple different phone calls. I do have something in mind that will help turn the energy around in this video for the better. One of my key cold calling principles is always make the ask for their time. And I'd like to show you this TikTok. I'm taking over TikTok with my sales TikTok videos. So if you're on the app, make sure to check me out. But always make the ask. And here's the best demonstration I can show you guys.
Wipe it down, wipe.
Hello, will you like to take my meeting, please?
Wipe.
I know what you guys may be thinking right now. Trent, your dance moves may quite possibly be worse than your sales cold calling script right now. Believe me guys, give me until the end of the video. I'm gonna make it up to you. I've made over 38,000 cold calls. I always bounce back from rejection. I always come back stronger. And that's one of the top things that's most important with cold calls is even if you have a bad call, even if you have a bad day, you always need to bounce back. So stick around to the end of the video and I'm gonna share with you guys my script, my tips, my tricks, my tactics. Before we get into it, make sure to smash the like button now. Thank you guys for doing that. And subscribe to the channel. This is day 77 in a row putting a new video on this channel. I love talking all things software sales, all things cold calling, all things prospecting, all things life as an SDR. So I want you guys to be a part of this journey as we continue to rise through the ranks of corporate America and move up and put more pelts on our salesman headset, whatever that may be. I don't know what we're talking about there, guys. But what I have prepared for you guys here today is I have another recording that I'm going to share with you guys right now just because it's funny. I thought I was calling a female. It ended up being a male. I need to check my connection. It's terrible. But the guy was at Disney World. That's the punchline. But go ahead and listen to it now.
Hey, good morning. I was hoping to speak with Ashley, but it sounds like I may have the wrong number.
Who are you looking for?
Ashley Self?
This is Ashley Self.
Oh, hey, Ashley, this is Trent from Qualtrics. How are you?
Hey, Trent, I'm at Disney World. Can you call me next week?
Oh, absolutely. Hope you have a great time.
Thanks, bye.
Bye.
For the duration of this video, I'm going to structure it around that cold call you heard earlier. I made a call today, and within the first 20 seconds, the prospect said, "No, I'm not interested." She acknowledged she knew who my company was, but she said she's not interested. I took that conversation for another 2 minutes longer. The key here, guys, is if the call ever feels rushed, it's you who are rushing the call. So next time you're making cold calls and you feel that sense of urgency from someone on the phone saying, "Yeah, I'm about to, hey, oh, yeah, why are you calling? Oh, yeah," and you feel it and you're like, "Oh, I got to get off the phone." If it feels rushed, never rush the conversation. Always control the pace. And I'm going to put that full recording at the end of this video if you guys want to hear the entire call. I did not end up setting the meeting, but I was able to bounce back from the, "Hey, I'm not interested," and get in my pitch and figure out why she's not interested. And it's kind of a sad reason, but you can listen for yourself if you want to stick around. I'm going to walk through, guys, what I think about when making cold calls, a couple top key things, and I've made a lot of cold calls. There's no one way to do this, guys. There's a lot of different formulas to success. Success is the outcome. The outcome is setting up a meeting, booking your demo, getting them to go to your webinar, whatever it may be. Figure out what your outcome is up front. My outcome is usually to set up a meeting with that person. I want to set up the initial meeting. I want to qualify it, turn it into an opportunity, make that pipeline, and hopefully run that prospect through the sales cycle and convert it into closed revenue. That's my job as an account executive. You being a new SDR, you being an account executive, you being someone that wants to get into software sales, while making cold calls, you need to be crystal clear about your ask. Think about when you're ordering pizza on a Friday or Saturday night. When you pick up that phone, you know exactly what you're gonna order. Maybe you got friends around and it's a hectic environment like it is on the sales floor. You know exactly what you're gonna order, you know your address, and you're gonna make that ask, even though they're pretty much asking you what you want. Same thing on cold calls, guys. When you call people, you need to know what you're going to ask them, and you need to make sure to ask them for their time, because if you're not asking people for their time, you're never going to set their meetings. When we think about script and what we say, if you stick around, you're going to hear exactly what I say, but I always start with my calls, hey, this is Trent calling from Qualtrics, how are you? A lot of people have differing opinions on this. Do you have 27 seconds to talk? Is now a good time? Is now a bad time? Hey, or whatever you want to say. There's a lot of different ways to start the calls, a lot of differing opinions, and no matter how you start the call, you still can set the meeting with whatever you say. But I like to say, how are you? I'm a human, they're a human. I actually do care. Here's the thing, guys. I care how they are. If I get something short, and if I get, oh, I'm doing well, and they ask me back, then it's my opportunity to quickly build that trust and just humanize with them. And then I'll say, perfect. The reason I'm calling you is, you always need to work in that phrase, the reason I'm calling you is. Have a crystal clear ask. I always say the reason I'm calling you is, I'm following up on a recent email I'd sent you. Does the name Qualtrics, insert your company name, ring a bell? I like to do this because if the company name does ring a bell, then we've already gotten a yes, then we're already starting to roll, guys, and that can take the call in a whole different conversation. If not, I then have my quick value pitch. Well, hey, the reason I'm reaching out to you specifically is I noticed you oversee XYZ. My company can help you XYZ. Based on that, is this something you'd like to take a look at? Is this something that's a priority for you and the team? That's usually how I take my cold call script. The key here, guys, is you need to be able to quickly, easily, succinctly, and effectively convey your company value prop in a very short and condensed period of time. In order to do that, you need to really understand what are the outcomes you're selling. You're not selling software, you're selling outcomes, guys. What are the outcomes as a result of your software? What is the ROI? How are you going to move that person's business forward? How are you going to help that person get promoted? If you can't share with them the outcomes and it's how it's going to help them in their role, they're never going to take the meeting because it's not going to be worth their time. When you eventually do get through that, then you make the ask, well, hey, it sounds like you oversee this and it would be quite relevant to you. Do you have any availability? What is your availability later this week to set up a brief introductory conversation so that we can talk about how we can help you? Always make the ask and then frame it in the light of how this is going to benefit them. Don't say, hey, like, what does your calendar look like? Whatever, because you're just asking based on your own self-interest. You need to change the script and say, well, hey, it sounds like meeting's going to really benefit you a lot because we may be able to help you with XYZ. What does your availability look like to discuss further? That's what I've seen, guys. The last thing I want to share on this, and then we'll put in the recording, is really find an excuse to win, guys. This is going to be more motivational, more heady stuff, but cold calls, it's really not, it's not complex, guys. A lot of people like to overcomplicate it. You don't need to be great on the phone. You just need to make a lot of calls. The more calls you make, the more meetings you're going to set. We can break it down, answer rate, set rate, show rate, conversion rate. We can look at all the Moneyball metrics, whatever it may be. But if you have a better set rate than me, but I'm making 100 more calls a week, I'm still going to set more meetings over the course of 1,000 calls because I'm simply putting in more volume, guys. Simply by caring more, simply by owning your success, simply by adding and finding new people each and every day and making your calls, being disciplined, making your calls mornings, afternoons, and then calling the warm leads, whatever, throughout the day. Simply by committing to that and holding yourself accountable. If you look up at the end of the day and you didn't make any cold calls, you did not do your job that day and you failed yourself, you failed your family, you failed your potential, and really that's selfish, guys. That's bad. You shouldn't be doing that. If I ever do that, I feel terrible about myself and I then go into the next day thinking I need to go twice as hard. On those days when it's raining, guys, I've been hearing this recently. A lot of people like to talk about weather. On the bad weather days, you need to make twice as many calls. On those Fridays with March Madness, you need to make twice as many calls, guys. It's a mindset thing. When other people find excuses, oh, everyone's gonna be on vacation. Oh, it's spring break. Oh, it's so sunny outside. Everyone's outside playing, whatever. Whenever you hear that start to seep in your mind, that is when you need to put your phone down. You need to cut out the noise, put on your headset, and start making calls, guys. It's as simple as that. It's a mindset thing. That's how you're going to set more meetings. And even if you're going through slumps, I'm going through slumps right now, guys. Think about it over the course of 1,000 calls, not 400 calls. Look at it at scale, and that's how you really can quantify your output. So keep going, guys. Keep making your calls. I'm going to insert this call now. It's about 2.5 minutes. See how I bounce back from the ejection. I'm not interested. Hope you guys got some value from this video here today, was entertained, and got some sort of value to help you in your own job. Make sure to hit the like button below, subscribe to the channel, hit me up on LinkedIn, drop me a comment below. That's 4 asks right there, guys. That's 4 asks right there. So just do one of them. Would love to hear from you guys. See you later.
Hello.
Hey, Linda, this is Trent from Qualtrics. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for asking. Hey, the reason I was giving you a call this afternoon, Linda, is I was following up on a recent email I'd sent you. Does the name Qualtrics ring a bell?
Does the name what?
Yeah, I've sent you a couple emails, Linda. I was just wondering if the name Qualtrics rings a bell.
I've seen them, but I mean, we're not interested.
Yeah, absolutely get that. Well, I noticed that you oversee HR over at ATS. I mean, I'd imagine really having real-time employee feedback and insights to increase engagement, lower attrition, different outcomes like that are important. Would just be curious to know if employee feedback is a part of your employee experience strategy.
It is, but we already have something in place that we've developed, so we're good.
Oh, perfect. Just an in-house survey tool. Are you using a vendor today?
Nope, we got our own thing going. We got developers and we develop our own stuff, so we're good.
Okay. Well, I think that's really impressive if you guys are able to build out a platform in-house. Anytime I've worked with organizations that have done that, they usually reach a certain point when they're looking to mature their program that they seek out vendors where the core function is to do that. Is there a time of the year when you review your processes for potential enhancements?
We probably, because we're in the airline business and with COVID, we're not, we wouldn't probably be interested until the airline business gets back up and functioning to a full. I'm laying people off constantly, bringing them back for a few weeks, laying them back off, bringing them back. I don't really have that. We don't really have funds to do anything. So what we have is good for now. So, you know, a couple of years down the road, when the airline industry is better and we got business, we may be willing to spend some money, but not at this time.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Linda. I know it's been a tough couple of months. We work with the Southwest, the Delta. I know American, U.S., Spirit, many of the major airlines, and I know business has been tough due to COVID.
Yeah.
But they realize the importance of experiences, and I know it doesn't make sense to chat now, but perhaps in a year or two, when things start to open back up, there could be a lot of value we could offer since we do partner with many of the major airlines and aviation companies.
Yeah.
So, I'll let you go today, Linda, but thanks for the time, and of course, wish you all the best.
No problem. All right. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thanks again. Bye.